Yeah, so how long did it take, and then what research did you do to be able to validate the idea and
Great questions, great questions. So I basically emailed Doug and I said, Doug, I love the product. It's fantastic. I said, do you have a distributor in Australia? And he said, no. And I was like, why? Hasn't anybody ever asked? And he said, yeah, people have asked. I said, well, why haven't you appointed anybody? He said, because everybody wants to drop ship. They just want to market and then order from us, and then we ship them onesies and twosies over as they take. He says, I'm looking for partners. So I want people who are going to put up some money and be committed to it, because when people need the consumables, they need to be in country. You know, like if you run out of dunny bags, you don't want to have to FedEx them from New York, right? So I said, all right, so what does that look like? He said, well, you know, I need somebody who's going to invest in inventory. And I'm like, okay, well, let's put that together on paper. What would a container cost of toilets and all the bags, the pea powder, because the system requires both. So when a liquid goes in there, there's this little powder that you sprinkle like a teaspoon in, and it turns the liquid into an odorless gel in about 60 seconds. And it means that you don't have to use a bag every time. So you can get a lot more usage out of the bag. And so anyway, the short story is a 40-foot container was going to cost about, from memory, I think it was about $150,000. Aussie for the container. And then I did my math on a new website, photography, all the collaterals and stuff, launch costs, shows, blah, blah, blah. So in my head, I'm thinking this is a $250,000 kickoff by the time it's all said and done. I said, Doug, I would be prepared to do that. And he goes, what's your background? And then he Googled me. And then he went, oh, this guy knows what he's doing because he saw my Amazon story, etc. And he was like, yeah, definitely interested in talking to you. So I said, if I buy that amount, what would the deal terms? He said, you'd have exclusivity. I said, can I get New Zealand? Got Australia, New Zealand, exclusive distribution. And there was minimum order quantities for year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. And we negotiated those terms. But I could tell dealing with Doug and his offsider John, his right-hand man, who you won't see a video of John, just proper gentlemen, like really good people. That part of the world, Connecticut, is that people don't even lock their doors up there, you know. And so that's how that came to be. So that's how I secured the rights, got a simple agreement in place, and made the order. And so then I'm like, okay, now I've got to figure out. Now to answer the second part of your question, how did I validate the idea? Well, number one, obviously I saw the use case in America, and I watched there's a lot of videos on YouTube, and a lot of them are from customers that are unprompted, that are going, I just got my Labio dry flush toilet, right? And they love the product. I saw one video that had like 15 million views, which was an RV company, and they just demonstrated, they had this thing called Flush It Friday, and it was to see what weird thing they could put in their dry flush toilet, and it's still flushed. And they were getting millions of views on it. So I knew the product was a hit, and they hadn't advertised at all. And I'm thinking, oh, I've got advertising and marketing experience. I know how to elevate your brand, like that video you just saw, right? So I was like, if they can do that, and I know how much Aussies love camping, so I went to Google, and I went to a keywords tool, keyword planner, and I put in camping toilet. How many searches are there a month in Australia and New Zealand? And is it growing? Is it falling? Then I put in disability toilet, handicap toilet, boat toilet, marine toilet, RV toilet, camp toilet, off-site toilet, plane toilet, composting toilet, incinerator toilet, you know.
So you did an inventory of all the keyword searches.
Absolutely, because my strategy was I'm going to pay Google to drive traffic to the website. I said to Doug, what about trade shows? And he's like, no, dude, like you're not going to make many sales from trade shows. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. So we went to the next caravan show, got a stand, got 5 guys on the stand, sold 1 toilet in the whole weekend, right? Because nobody wants to talk about a dunny. I mean, it just looks like a toilet. So anyway, so that's so I did the keyword research, and like, for example, I think from memory at the time it was 12,000 searches a month for camping toilet,
right?
10,000 for bedside commode. Right? These might not be exact, but they're in that ballpark. But add them together, it's tens of thousands of searches a month. There's no reason to be looking up bedside commode unless you're going to buy one or camping. So these are intentional searches for that product, and I figured if I can sell 30 of these a month at $2,000, that's 60 grand a month plus some back end. There's probably $1 million business here pretty quick. And I was right.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Unemployable. If you want to watch another clip, click here, or if you want to see the full episode, click here. Bye for now.